Yara Jindi.
Nestagute.
She Tante Baka Huntia.
She Madison Yuzos Huntia.
Welcome back to another episode of Small Town Res Girls. We missed you guys and we're so thankful to be back. I know it's a different setting. This is where it all started. But we're home.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
We had a home to come back to.
Yes. So if you follow us on social media, you may have seen that we were posting about the fires that happened on the Mescalero Apache Reservation and in Ruidoso, New Mexico. We were evacuated. We were away from our home for 7 days. The fire got within 20 yards of our home. We are now back. Thankfully, like we said before, we have a home to come back to. There was over 1,000 structures lost in Ruidoso, New Mexico. But thankfully, on the Mescalero Apache Reservation, all the structures were saved. Shout out to the firefighters for that. We also are dealing with flooding. So as you all may know, we mentioned before, we do live together. We've been living together for 2 years, but we had to evacuate to we got separated during the evacuation. So what was your experience within that 7 days of being evacuated?
It was a roller coaster of emotions. Not knowing whether our house was still here or not. Being away from home, I think that's really tough. When you just want to go home, I think that was really
tough. Yeah, it was a roller coaster of emotions. I know that there was a time where they're like, oh, your house is fine. And then you get on Facebook and you look like your house is on fire.
And everyone's saying, oh, well, this burnt down, this burnt down.
Yes.
And it didn't even burn.
Yeah, so I freaked out. I texted you and I was like, bro, our house is probably gone. And I know I probably scared you.
You did.
I was crying. I was like, oh my gosh, our home. But thankfully, we're just dealing with minimal smoke damage. Our food went bad. Our outside looks horrible. But we're just thankful to be able to come home, sit here on our couch and talk to you guys again. Our podcast equipment didn't burn. We're thankful for that.
We're thankful for that.
Now we're dealing with flooding.
Really bad. Oh
we got to come home and we had to evacuate again because it just flooded. It's horrible. It was a lake at the bottom of our road. We weren't even able to come home. Maddie couldn't even come home.
I couldn't. I was just out of town, and when I was coming home, the day I was on my way home, Ruidoso was flooding. So we couldn't even go through Ruidoso. We had to drive all the way around to get home, and we got home super late. And then when I got home, they said, oh, you can't go home.
They were blocking our road.
Yeah.
They were blocking our road. You couldn't get back up here. So she drives a Ford Bronco and I drive a RAV4, and I was like, ain't no way our cars are gonna survive this. But our hearts are with Ruidoso. Our hearts are with Mescalero.
Yes.
It was so sad, but through the trying times, it was just beautiful to see
everybody come together. Everybody.
Yes.
All the donations, everything.
It was beautiful. I know Alamogordo, all their churches were allowing evacuees to go there. Roswell, Hondo.
And just everyone's neighbors were willing to help. We're trying to get people out. We're trying to get their livestock out, everything.
Yes, the livestock, everything. It was beautiful. And I know it was scary, and, a lot of people are dealing with the aftermath of it, but at least, we're safe and we have a home to come to.
Yeah.
So when we came home, there was firefighters.
Still here
they
for
were
a
still
week.
Here, yeah. We just, I remembered a few of them, the few of the engine trucks that were here. I want to thank Dunnigan, Mesa.
Yeah.
Even the Lincoln County Forest Department was out here.
And we also want to thank Llewellyn and Stink.
Yes.
They came over here and they checked on our house every day and were reporting back to us saying, your house is okay, or they were telling us what was happening around our house every day.
And even when I called her and I was like, oh my gosh, our house is gone, Llewellyn came up here and he
was on his way home and he was like, I'll go check. And he drove all the way back this way and just checked on our house.
I want to personally thank Mescalero Conservation.
Yes.
I got stuck at the travel center the night of the fire, and the Highway 70, it is a state highway. You know, the state police have jurisdiction, and they wouldn't let us go to the inn because they said we needed to show a tribal ID. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have my tribal ID. Like, my house is burning. I was really trying to, like, get them to let us go. It was me and all our neighbors. And I was like, please. And just then the conservation pulled up, and they were fighting for us, and they got us to the inn to where we were able to. That was an evacuation site. The travel center wasn't. So thankful for the conservation, the police department, the tribal administration, and all firefighters that were involved. So I want to thank them. In honor of that, I want to thank my Uncle Josh personally. He was a part of the Mescalero Hotshots, and now he's the director of the Bureau of Indian Affairs Forestry. So I want to shout him out for Wildland Firefighter Day. Who would you like to shout out?
I want to shout out my dad, who was a wildland firefighter way back when. Shout out to you, Dad. Love you.
Yes. So with all that being said, we also wanted to add, we did mention before that we were going to be at the 4th of July parade.
I think we mentioned it on our TikTok.
On our TikTok, yes. There's no longer a 4th of July parade here on the Mescalero Apache Reservation. There's no longer the rodeo and the fireworks show, which was the biggest fireworks show, right? Was it?
Yeah.
And
like
but we still will be at the ceremonies on July 4th. We're gonna try to be there around between 1 and 2. We're gonna have some shirts, and we're gonna also we plan to record.
So come be in our podcast.
Come be in our podcast.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shame. We're ashamed too.
It's okay. We can be shamed together, but come be in our podcast. Come talk to us.
We also plan to possibly be at the Little Beaver. We're gonna also try to record a little bit there. We're gonna take some shirts up there too. So we plan to be at the Little Beaver. If you're in that area, come see us. Don't be shy.
Come meet us.
Come meet us. We want to meet you guys.
Yes.
We want to interact with you all.
We want to get to know you.
Yes, we love this. We love doing this, and we're happy to be back. We did have a lot of episodes that we were supposed to record in June, but because of the fires,
we had a lot planned.
We still plan to do it.
Yes,
this
we do.
month. So
look forward to all of those. We're excited. We're really excited for the ones we're gonna do.
And I know that some of you may be wanting to donate to the fires. We'll link some GoFundMes. Ruidoso has a GoFundMe, and the Mescalero Apache Tribe, if you'd like to donate. We're good, we're fine, we're healthy, we have a home.
Yes.
But if you would like to donate, we have shirts for sale. So you can
help
message
support us.
Yes, help support us. You can message us on Instagram,
Facebook,
and TikTok. And you can comment on YouTube.
Yeah. Leave a comment if you like.
Yes. So when I went to volunteer at the inn, and I ran into like some firefighters that were just coming in, and one of them like kept staring at me, and he was like, I recognize you from somewhere. And I was like, I've never seen you. Like, sorry.
You're unsure, bro.
I'm so thankful you're here, but I've never seen you. And he was like, you and another girl, I recognize you. You guys are on that podcast. And I was like, oh yeah, Small Town Rescue. Like, I watch it. I watch every episode. And I just thought that was cool that we
buy a shirt.
Yes, buy a shirt. If you're watching,
this.
buy a shirt. But it was just cool to be recognized,
cool. Yeah.
you know, and through those crazy
people
times.
outside. It's cool that we're connecting with everybody and not just people on our reservation.
On our reservation, yes.
And I also got recognized at a basketball tournament I played in. It was kind of like when we first started.
Oh, really?
It was,
Wow.
it was weird to...
What did they say?
They were like, hey, I recognize you. And I was like, hi. And they're like, I was like, how? I was like, I'm pretty sure I've never seen you before.
I don't go nowhere.
I know. And he was like, no, you have a podcast, right? And I was like, yeah. He was like, I listened to your first podcast. It was pretty cool. And I was like, oh, thank you.
I think it's so cool, yeah. There's a lot of people from the res that are like, when's the next episode? Next episode. That's what happens a lot is I see people and they're like, when's the next episode? And I'm like, we're trying.
We're doing our best.
There's 3 of us, and we have to figure out a time for all 3 of us.
Yes.
So.
And that's kind of difficult with all of our busy schedules.
It is. We're working. We're going to school.
Freddie's working.
Saving the world.
Yes. I also read into some of your fans in Wayne Wow.
You did.
Yeah, can you give them a shout out?
Shout out to y'all.
It's Gabe and Lolly.
Shout out
Albuquerque.
Shout out to Gabe and
Lolly.
Thank you for watching us.
We appreciate you. Back to the ceremony. We want to talk a little bit about
how they were canceled, the rodeo and the parade, but I understand where they're coming from.
Yeah.
They had put out a notice that the reason they were canceling was so we can still have the ceremonies, but use that time to really heal and pray for our lands.
Yes.
And thank the Lord and the Creator that no structures were lost, no lives were lost, and I think that's beautiful. I think that it's a beautiful
at
way.
least on the Mescalero reservation.
Yes, and I think that it's beautiful that our tribe's doing that.
Yeah.
There's still going to be vendors. I did hear today. I wasn't sure if there was going to be vendors,
Really?
but it's just the tribal member vendors.
Oh, okay.
So there's still going to be vendors. So come out and support. We're all in trying times, so
Yes.
support our local vendors and enjoy some fry bread and some Kool-Aid. And they're also going to do what is it?
Not
What
the
are they doing?
Kool-Aid.
Oh yeah, with the game.
The games, yes. They're going to do games each day, right?
Yeah, it's the Indian car where they all,
Yes.
like, so many people try to get in a car.
Yeah.
And then fire starting, right?
Yes, fire starting.
The fire starting where you have to start the fire like the maidens do.
And they're doing the tippy building.
How fast you can get tippy up. I think, shout out to the Roaches. They won last year, huh?
Did they?
I think, yeah, they were like fast. They won. And then I think last year it was Deadly Cousins that won the
Indian car.
Indian car.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember those two. I don't remember I think they're gonna do like the best war cry. Oh, Myron! Shout out
Was
to
it Myron?
It was Myron.
Shout out to Myron.
Shout out to Myron. He truly is gonna keep our tradition alive. I just think it's so awesome seeing the young kids just really like devoting their life to this stuff. I'm like, hell yeah. So with all that being said, we just wanted to make a quick little episode just updating you guys on why we're MIA and that we still are gonna be at the 4th of July, so come
Yes.
see us. And
We wanted to thank the firefighters for helping us and keeping all of our land safe.
Mescalero and Redoso strong. And if you're at the ceremonies, remember to pray hard and dance hard if you're dancing.
Dance hard.
Remember, we're healing, and this is us healing.
This is our
And
healing moment.
We're in the healing process. And we just thank you guys for watching, and we love you guys.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
We'll post more now.
We'll post more now.